Hi guys, welcome to the isobuilder. It's CHADWM or SHA-DWM, right? Anyway, last video that I've made was about updates. If a system comes in, a new package comes in from the ArcoLinux CHADWM-git, your application is rebuilt because we need to have an application that boots up basically in the ISO, during the ISO environment, and afterwards. Now the fun is of course in making it your own, right? So in here, in this particular folder, we have the application. This is the thing that runs it, the heart, maybe even the brains, right? Stomach and all. This is the nervous system. This is it. You need to change of course this one, and then make install. Now changing colors and add things to it, each time you do an update it breaks, because it's going to go to, and it needs to be there, the etc scal. This is your backup. Everything, you can mess everything up, but there is always a backup. The correct code for left WM is here, the correct code for Arco CHADWM is here, for i3 it's here. So you can always do a scal, and this is the content that goes to the home directory. Now this is the content of ArcoLinux. At some point in time you start to deviate and you say, no, I would like to have the color red and the color this and that, and I don't want all that, and I was less of these desktops and so on. So you start changing things. Now I've just made a video telling guys, just keep two folders and compare. I say, okay, let's compare, and what is mine is to the right. Of course they're now exactly the same because it's mine. But if you do a scal, this becomes ArcoLinux settings. And in my case, this here, up here, is governed by super 1. Actually, it's not 1 at all. It's AZERTY, so it's ampersand, accent aigu, right, and so on, right? So all these numbers I don't have in QWERTY, in AZERTY. QWERTY is numbers. And a big majority of our people are QWERTY, so I won't change that, but I need to work with something that I can work with, like so super 3, 4, 5, you see the small cursor up here, and I'm changing. So I don't want to change it again. Now this is the manual thing, which is okay, just go and melt, fine. But I thought I had an idea in previous video. I said, what if? Right? You need to have what ifs, and then the technical bits. What if I create an ArcoLinux CHDWM-pacman-hook-git? What if I tell Pacman, if the update, even when the ArcoLinux CHADWM-git is updated, do something. So, to the technical stuff. And this is indeed and also a video about how to create Pacman hooks. It's for users, but also for distro builders. etc pacman-d. And here are some interesting hooks to have a look at. The one that interests us is this one, right? Close other tabs. What I'm telling is if and only if you upgrade, not install, not remove, if there's an upgrade coming in, the application gets overwritten. We don't overwrite your file in here unless you type scal, right? That's it. Or unless you do use the ArcoLinux tweak tool. That's another possibility, because hey, otherwise it won't work. But if there's an upgrade, the app changes. So this thing up here that's running is rebuilt. So what if we tell the system, if you upgrade and there's the type package of ArcoLinux CHDWM-git, if that happens, then after the transaction, after everything is done and installed, then you say go and do this. Okay. What should he do? He should rebuild it. User local bin, and we have the ArcoLinux CHDWM build. What this thing is going to do is going to look who is number 1000. So if you have 2 users, then 1000 in my case is Eric, right? But if you have 2 users and your wife is also on the computer, that's 1001. Mainly, I think 99% is just alone on the computer, so this would be good. Otherwise, change the number. So basically, the user is Eric. That's what this line does. And then it says, okay, then we go to home eric.config arco chdwm. So it has to be there. If you start changing names, it won't work. It has to be there, and this is the default place where everything is supposed to be. Then make this thing, and then make install. And then if I do that, he basically overwrites the app that was coming from ArcoLinux with my settings. And these settings, 1, have to be there, 2, have to be correct. But that's entirely up to you to see if whatever you change in here, if you type make and then sudo make install and super shift R, that it still works, that you're still on a system that works. That's your responsibility, that this is correct. So let's see what happens. Sudo pacman-s. Eric is gonna push something out, because last thing I've done is add the date up here, because I was missing it. And if I push a new package out, number 44, it comes in, and let's have a look. I've made it visually for you guys. This white thing, making CHDWM, is the etc scal basically. And we need it, otherwise we can't boot into a live environment with an ISO. But this is the hook. I've made it green, so you know, personal Pacman hook start. And it's created for Eric. So he knows my name. He goes to the home directory, home/eric/arco-chdwm, wow, you know the URL, right? And then he's gonna build it again with my settings, so my colors, with my choices. So that's something I would like to test out for the coming days. And if there are guys that say, okay, well, looks good, gonna test it, fine. So it's just a package away. But I always like to teach a little bit what's behind the magic, right? ArcoLinux CHDWM-pacman-hook-git. It's online. Let me know if it works. All right. Cheers.